Every once in a while, I just get flashbacks about stuff that happened last year. And as much as I try to like shake it off and try not to think about it, it just like dwells in my head and I just can't shake it off. It just don't go away. Like 2017 is a year that I can honestly say I will never be able to forget, because I feel like that year is the year that completely changed me, because that's the year where I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That's the year where I can say my life has changed completely. And like, I can't remember everything word for word, every single thing that happened in 2017, but I remember I remember being at Spencer's house, and I remember laying on the bed, and I remember being in so much pain to the point where I couldn't get out the bed. It hurt so bad. I could not move. I was just like stuck in the bed. I was like that for days. I could not get up. It just hurt so bad. But it's like I refused to go to the doctor, because during that time I didn't have insurance, so I couldn't go to the doctor because I would have had to pay for it out of pocket. So I just remember laying in bed, laying in bed, laying in bed. And I remember my birthday coming up, and I remember still, I was stuck in the bed for my birthday. I remember that. Still stuck in the bed for my birthday. So for my 26th birthday, I was still in bed, still stuck in bed. And I remember a few days after my birthday, I remember calling my dad, telling him I was in pain. I just wasn't feeling good. I just remember telling my dad I was in pain. And I remember him telling me he was on his way to come and get me. He was going to come pick me up. So I remember my dad coming to pick me up. And I remember him picking me up and taking me to Buford. And I remember going to his house, and he told me if I needed anything to just call him. And the last thing I remember is I remember calling the EMS, because I was in so much pain. I feel like I needed to go to the hospital. Something was wrong. I just needed to go to the hospital. So I remember calling the EMS, and that's the last thing I remember. And I just remember opening my eyes, and I'm in the hospital. And when I woke up, I remember seeing my mom and my dad. And both of them looked completely sad. I didn't know what was going on. I was like in complete shock. Nobody told me what was going on. I don't remember anything after that point. All I remember is I was in the hospital. During that point, I didn't know I had MS yet. I didn't know what was going on. And that's the last thing I remember from being in the hospital at that point. But all I remember at one point is I remember calling one particular person. I remember blowing up her phone. I believe I called her about 36 times, back to back to back to back to back. It's like she always told me that no matter what, she will always be there for me. And during that time, I was just recently diagnosed with MS. I didn't know what was going on. To me, my life was just changing, and I was scared. I just needed somebody to talk to. I just wanted her to pick up the phone and tell me that everything was going to be okay. I just needed some reassurance that everything was going to be okay. I just needed her to be there for me. But she didn't answer her phone. During that point, I could barely see. During that point, I really could barely see. My whole body was hurting. I was in so much pain. I had IVs going through me. I was hurting. I just needed her to tell me that everything was going to be okay, but she didn't answer the phone. And even when I got out the hospital and they had me on all this medication, I didn't even get a phone call from her checking on me, asking me was everything okay or anything. For months, I didn't get a phone call from her. I didn't get a text from her, nothing. She didn't even call to check up on me or anything. Like, that shit hurt. Still to this day, it still hurts. Like, why didn't you check on me and even see if I was okay? Like, when I got sick, that showed me who my real friends were. Who really had my back, who was really there for me, who really cared about me like they so-called say they did. And the person that I least expected to be there for me, that was the person that was there for me the most. Like, my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother, they were there for me the most. Yeah, I love them for that. Spencer was there for me the most. Even though at one point, he said that he wasn't sure that he could handle this. When I found that out, that kind of hurt my feelings. Because he always told me that he was going to be there for me. But for him to say that, he wasn't sure that he could handle it. That kind of hurt because I thought he was going to walk away, but he didn't. But he did have feelings. He did have thoughts that he was going to walk away, but he didn't walk away. Even when I flipped out, he didn't walk away. But it's like, it did hurt my feelings because, like, when I really needed people to be there for me, it's like the people that I thought who was going to be there for me, they weren't. So yeah, it's like 2017 really changed me a lot. It really showed me who my real friends were. So yeah, a lot of people say that I changed and I'm not the same. When you go through something like that, it's impossible to stay the same. Trust me, stuff is going to happen. Stuff is going to change you. I still love people. I still love people who weren't there for me. I'm not going to say I don't love them. I still love them, but I just show my love differently now. I'm going to just say it like that. But it did hurt. There were plenty of nights I cried. There were plenty of nights where I tried to kill myself. I really did. People think I was joking. Some people think that I was just doing that for attention. But in the beginning, when I first got diagnosed with MS, it was hard and it was scary and it was frustrating. There were really times where I was just done. I just wanted to end it because I just couldn't handle it. It was too much pain. So there really was times where I really just tried to just take my life. I was over it. I didn't take my life, but there were times where I really tried to. But it's like, in the beginning, I just needed somebody to actually be there for me, actually mean what they said when they said they had my back. But right now, I can say that I'm stronger now. Trust me, it took a lot for me to get to where I am today. It really took a lot. But yeah, I'm slowly getting closer to God. I'm not as close to him as I want to be, but I'm slowly getting there. But yeah, I'm trying my best. One step at a time. That's all I can do. But it's just, I'll never forget the people who was there for me, and I'll never forget the people who made me feel like I was just a burden to them. That's all I can say. I'll never forget the people who had my back and the people who didn't. Because in the beginning it was hard. It was rough. It really was. It really was. And it was scary. Like, every day is getting easier, but I still have my days. I don't complain about it. I pretend like everything's okay even when it's not. But like, all I can do is I can try my best. That's all I can do. If I have to put a fake smile on my face just to get through the day, I'm going to do that. Just to prevent people from asking me what's wrong. I'm going to do my best just to get by. But every day is not easy. That's all I can say. Every day is not easy. But I'm trying my best. I'm staying prayed up. Even though so many people are against my religion, I love being a Mormon. If you ask me, I feel like this is one of the best choices that I feel like I've made. A lot of people are against it, but I don't care. It's my choice. During the time that I made this choice, I feel like it was best for me. I may change my mind later on down the line. I may not. But for right now, I feel like this is where I'm meant to be. But right now, I'm just taking everything one step at a time. One step at a time. That's all I can do.